It's the New England Patriots headed to play for a championship. More overreaction Monday. Obviously, the narrative leading into this game, particularly with Tom Brady, was that this team was no good. They were underdogs. No one believed in them. All of that. I'll say this on Overreaction Monday. With Tom Brady and Bill Belichick together, the Patriots are never underdogs. I don't care who they play.
I'm going to go first. It's not an overreaction.
No, it's not.
And I'm going to tell you, man, I had to apologize to all the Patriot Nation today on SportsCenter, and I will do it again.
2 weeks?
I will do it again.
Okay.
Listen, I am sorry. I don't care if Tom Brady got a walker, a cane, and a wheelchair. I'm not doubting the man anymore. Bill Belichick, I'm not doubting you either, brother. Don't care if you wear full-sleeve hoodies or not. When you watch this team play the last 2 weekends, they looked nothing like we saw in the middle of this season. When it came down to crunch time, when it came down to having the right type of plays, the right type of scheme to face your opponent, they were better than the other team. And that's Bill Belichick and his staff. And when throws needed to be made in crunch time, in the clutch, when guys needed to step up and make plays, it was Tom Brady and his receivers that he trusted. Those guys were amazing. They're the reason that they're in this Super Bowl and the same reason they've been to 8 of it.
How many times do we have to see it? I mean, it's almost automatic.
I'm just glad he apologized. Because 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, he said the Chargers, every play on the Chargers was better than every play on. I mean, it was unbelievable. I had to put a blanket over him. You know what I mean?
What, we're friends like you, bro. God.
I'm just saying because I picked it earlier. That's all. I'm just trying to self-promo. Now, listen, here's the deal with the Patriots. This is the coolest part about what they are. They have unselfish players who are the biggest players on their team. Gronkowski. Everybody talks about he's over the hill. He can't run routes. He can't. Guess what he can do? He can run block as well as anybody, and he'll do it. He'll stick his face in there, play after play. Dwayne Allen, same thing at tight end. Devlin at fullback. Name it. Keep going through. Tom Brady will take less money. Whatever it is, they're going to do whatever they have to do to build this team and make them as good as they can be. And the bottom line is they got to put their hands in the dirt, play a nasty style of football, 2 tight ends and a fullback. And the reality is most defenses don't see that anymore. So you're not as gap conscious. You don't really know exactly where your fit is. Things can it looks a little bit different than what you're facing with everybody spread out. And whichever way the league is always bending, Belichick always seems to be going the other way because people can't scheme it. They don't have players designed to play it. He is playing chess. Everyone else is playing checkers. We always say it, but it continues to show itself in the biggest moments because people get enamored with the Ferrari. They get enamored with teams. I'm saying people in general, not just you. I'm saying everybody, because everybody loves the excitement. But the reality is, when you slow that thing down and you put it in a funnel and you make it play the way you want it to play, and that's what they did: offense, defense, and special teams. It's why they win. Listen, I hated them. I played them all the time. They hit me. They put me out of the AFC Championship game. It is a frustrating team because they morph every week.
The best thing about them,
and you don't know what they are. And all of a sudden they're the best.
Exactly. Their form is that they're formless.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
okay.
Exactly
It's almost like Bruce Lee used to talk about in he used to literally say, be formless, and that's what they are. It's almost like, and see, there are people who are really, really caught up on how the game has to be played now.
Right.
You have to throw the ball and score a bunch of points early and then run the football. You're stupid if you don't run. I think it was Bill who said at halftime yesterday, we played the game on our terms. Remember, the score was low. They had controlled the clock. They had beat up the opposing team.
Put pressure on the quarterback.
Okay? They had hogged the time of possession. And then when they needed to go ahead and start throwing the football, they changed form again. They were like, oh, okay, Bob Sutton, defensive coordinator of the Chiefs. You don't want to double our best players, huh? Okay.
There's a shot.
We don't need a shot. We don't need to run the ball anymore. We're going to run these stack releases because you showed us against the Chargers. You don't know how to coach them. Or you don't know how to correct your players. And they keep making the same mistakes. So guess what we're going to do? We're not going to go back and do what everyone says we're supposed to do. We're going to run the same play, flip the formation, make it look a little different.
And run the same play.
Do it again, again, and again.
You say formless, and I would say here's the form. 75% of the teams in the league beat themselves. The form is they don't do that. They don't make mistakes. You want form? Here's the form. The last 2 weeks they played the Chargers and the Chiefs, 2 of the best pass rushing teams in the NFL. 0 sacks allowed. 0. You want form? Yesterday they ran more plays in a game than any team had run all season long. Why did they do that? Because they knew they had to do that to beat the number one offense in the league.
You're supposed to throw the football a lot at them and throw it a lot and throw it all over the place and take your chances and just keep throwing. You know what?
I love you
okay,
guys.
Listen.
O-line matters, people. O-line matters. Set it loose. That's why everybody can say it. Put it out there.
In all seriousness, I spent a lot of time talking to people who are, let's just say, very familiar with how this man thinks. And he really, as over time, has really capitalized on the fact that, one, he's patient during a football game. Two, he's formless during a football game. And he preaches to his teams, and he used to preach to us. He will not put up with dumb players, players who make mistakes, players who turn the ball over, players don't know how to figure out how to cover stack alignments. He won't put up with that stuff. And what he'll do is he'll wait you out.
Up off sides in the neutral zone.
That's right. He'll wait you out. He'll wait you out. He'll wait you out. And then when he strikes at the very end, you're the one going, we just lost to them again.
And let me say this.
Again.
And I think that's why the win yesterday meant so much, because the one time this season that we could point to the fact that they did make a mistake, it cost them home field advantage in Miami.
That's right.
Sure did.
And the win yesterday basically cleaned the slate. It was like etch a sketch.
But you know what?
They lifted the slate, and boom, it didn't matter anymore. They're in the Super Bowl. They went despite
remember when that play happened in Miami. Remember? People are like, there it is, the end of the dynasty. They're slipping. Bill's slipping. You just don't. He was like, I wish I could have heard him when he heard people saying that.
Sometimes you got to hope against hope, man.
Right. Well, that's exactly what you're doing at this point.
You know what? At this point, the best hope you have is just wait for him to retire.
Yeah, I think that's the only hope.
20 years
at
from
this
now.
Point. Part of the frustration.
He may be coaching at 90.
He might.
Why not?
He'll be good
He
enough.
might.
Why not?
Listen, part of the frustration, at least for some folks watching, of course, was that Patrick Mahomes never got a chance to touch the ball during overtime. And so for that, on this Overreaction Monday, I'll say, and that's because of the way the rules work, overtime rules must be changed. Is this an overreaction?
Look, the Chiefs' defense yesterday didn't do the job, and they allowed Rex Burkhead to score in overtime. The Chiefs take the football and go right down the field, whereas the Saints, by the way, won the toss and threw an interception.
Right.
And maybe there's a way that you leave the regular season alone, but when the stakes are this high and there's a Super Bowl berth on the line, something seems wrong if a team doesn't get its hands on the football at all because of a coin flip. A coin flip decided the game. You're looking at me crazy.
You know what it sound like? Hey, guys, my son was on the team. He never played because he wasn't good enough, but I would like for him to get a participation trophy.
No.
Nah.
Okay, you know what? It's your turn. It's your turn. You're right.
They changed the rules
sorry, I jumped
because they said, hey, it's a team sport.
Yeah.
And guess what, defense? We aren't even asking you to keep them from scoring. We're just saying don't let them score a touchdown. If you don't let them score a touchdown, Patrick Mahomes gets the ball. And while we're talking, listen, we have a colleague, right, who won a famous coin toss in the playoffs and said, you know what? We're going to take the ball and we're going to score on that goal.
Yeah.
On that end zone. You know what happened?
Unfortunately.
He threw the ball to the other team and they scored in the other one. Because you have to play defense. It's a team sport. When you can't figure it out in regulation, right? And now we're going to an extended period. The rules have changed now. Now we have to speed up the game. We have to help you guys figure out a winner because you couldn't do it for 60 minutes. Stop somebody. The same way that Dante Fowler Jr. and the Rams stopped Drew Brees in that offense.
I get you. I kind of see, though, I see Adam's point to disagree. And I'm not someone who is against the sudden death kind of, philosophy there, where if you let them score a touchdown, the game is over. I'm just saying this: if you play to a tie up to that point, the score says you guys have been equal. All right, everyone has participated, everyone has had a shot. You guys couldn't decide it on the football field. So let's just play a little bit longer. Let's give them both a shot to score. Give them both a possession, even if it's a touchdown or not, and then go from there. At least give them both one possession. So let's just say they both New England scores a touchdown. Kansas City gets the ball, goes down, scores a touchdown, and then make it sudden death.
You know what the next thing they're going to say?
Make it sudden death after that point.
They're going to say, well, they both scored on the first one. Right. Tom Brady got the ball back and scored. Now Patrick Mahomes should get another chance.
How about they keep giving 10 minutes?
I'm just saying
10
one.
minutes, you play 10 minutes.
Listen,
hey, do that too.
Give an extra. Listen, we talk about player safety. We talk about all those things.
But a guy got crushed in the face in New Orleans. Don't
we talk about player safety. The minute we want everybody wants extra time. Hey, man, let's have 7 overtimes. Let's play it until a guy can't walk off the. Nah, man. Look, you had your shot. Everybody had an equal shot. Nobody got it done in regulation. Stop the man from scoring a touchdown. And we're arguing. You didn't do it. Game's over.
If the argument is it's player safety, This, you know what? I'm gonna take this mic off and walk off because I'll tell you, a guy got his face blasted off
with no call
in the other game with no call. So please don't talk to me about we got to protect the guys. Give me a break.
Nah. Listen, this is why we call it Overreaction Monday.
Getting hype up in here, Wendy.
I'm kind of sweating under this suit.
That's right. All right, take a breather.
Lou's got a shower between breaks.
Here we go. All right, Sal, calmly, how are you? Listen, Sal Paolantonio live in Kansas City, and Sal, a tough break for Andy Reid. There was a lot of talk going into this game about his chance to finally get a championship. He's got Patrick Mahomes, the Ferrari, as Louis Riddick would tell you, of quarterbacks. What else does he need to get to and win a championship?
Well, Wendy, they are anything but calm here in Kansas City on the day after that loss. I can tell you there are a lot of people still very upset, including the head coach, Andy Reid. I did ask him a question about what it would take to get Patrick Mahomes and what he has in that quarterback position to a Super Bowl and win it. I'm going to give you his reaction on some other things on the backside of this quote, but I want you to listen to this first.
I'm always going to do what I think is right for the team, try to make it the best possible we can. We were this close on offsides to being in Atlanta. So I'm going to work like crazy on my end to make sure it's right. Within mind, doing everything right, what I think is right for the Chiefs.
Yeah, Andy Reid is still very upset. After that press conference, I talked to him one-on-one, and that was really much the first thing he brought up. Here they were, 3rd and 10 on the 34. They had an interception. D. Ford was called for lining up in the neutral zone, and Andy Reid basically said to me, in situations like that or during the game, the referees would come to the coaches and say, hey, watch this guy. He's getting a little too close. But to make that call in that spot, in that game, he was still upset about it.
Well, Sal, a lot of talk about calls that were or were not made today. Thank you. When we come back, NFL honor scrimmage. How about Lamar Jackson took the Ravens to the playoffs after going 6-1 in relief of Joe Flacco. He played 7 games, but still led all QBs in rushing yards. Philip Lindsay was undrafted, but made the Pro Bowl, and before he went down with a wrist injury, he averaged almost 5.5 yards per carry, the most by a first-year player since DeMarco Murray. Baker Mayfield, a strong year, 27 passing scores, the most by a rookie in NFL history. He led the Browns to a 5-2 mark in their final 7. And some lineman love, if you will, for Quentin Nelson, a first-team All-Pro as a rookie, helped anchor an offensive line that allowed just 18 sacks. That is the fewest in the league.
That was a DB. It doesn't count.
It counts.
You get caught sleeping.
I know you're
give him the business in.
I know you're going to scream, settle down.
Absolutely ruling out caffeine for the rest of the day. Now, having said that, the actual award will be given the night before the Super Bowl at the NFL Honors Award ceremony, but we can talk about it now. Who's your offensive rookie of the year? Louis?
I'm going to go Saquon Barkley.
Well, I sort of thought you might.
Yeah, I mean, you lead the league in scrimmage yards. You basically are their offense. I mean, he lived up to everything that they needed him to live up to. He impacted the game in every way possible that he could impact the game. And there are, look, people who played against him, if you watched him live and you watch some of the things this kid can do, there's really nothing, there aren't enough superlatives really to describe how well he played and how he delivered this year. There just aren't. He did everything possible that he could do given what he had to work with.
Listen, the kid played out of his mind. I'll give full credit. He did a ton.
Well, he was as advertised.
Yeah. And with an O-line that struggled, I mean, he showed up and did his thing. I'm going to go Quentin Nelson, offensive lineman. You just saw him on the highlights. Even my man Lou.
He
knocked that DB down.
Yeah.
That was mine.
Listen, here's the deal. You saw they led the league 18 sacks. They're protecting Andrew Luck, who is their franchise. But this guy changed a culture in the locker room. And you talk about quarterbacks being leaders and all this kind of thing. Q Nelson got in there and things changed. After the 7th week of the season, their backs were like 7th in the league in before contact. I mean, he has totally redefined that O-line room, what the culture about. You saw what he did. He was a polished player coming in, but he is nasty, and there's something about that. He was the most impactful player, in my opinion, from a rookie perspective of changing culture. And from an offensive line position, that's tough to do. This guy is special.
I will say, in the wild card game, being down, I watched most of that game from the field level down there in Houston. Those guys, him, Costanzo, Kelly, all those guys, Braden Smith.
Yes.
They're nasty.
Yes, they are.
Some nasty
They play
dudes.
to the
I
echo
remember
of the
sitting there
whistle.
going, I mean, they're coming off the sideline. I'm trying to scoot over near their bench. Like, I kind of like what they're doing.
Yeah,
I like this.
I agree.
I don't want to play anymore, but I like
yeah,
this.
but I like it.
Yeah.
I'll ask you a different question, Adam, and that is why might Baker Mayfield walk away with this?
Well, let me say this. Saquon Barkley, if he won it, wouldn't be surprised. Wouldn't have a problem. Quentin Nelson, if he won it, wouldn't be surprised.
Right.
Wouldn't have a problem. And I also don't think it's an issue if Baker Mayfield wins it, because what he did was change a culture. We talk about culture.
There was a
Baker Mayfield changed a culture in Cleveland. The Browns became relevant. They became interesting. They became competitive. They became a football team that's not laughed at, largely because this guy's playing quarterback and showing all the potential that John Dorsey and Alonzo Highsmith and Elliott Wolf saw in him when they made him the #1 overall pick in the draft. Baker Mayfield was as good as Saquon Barkley, as good as Quentin Nelson in his own respective way. And you can make the argument for any of these three rookies winning Rookie of the Year and not be incorrect.
You know, off topic a little bit, but the same team. You know, Baker, the whole culture of that football team changed. It coincided with Greg Williams being named interim head coach as well, and he doesn't get the head coach. Isn't there something a little bit weird about that, too? I mean, there was a whole lot of things that really seems like it came together to get that football team to kind of wake up a little bit and start playing a little bit differently. It's just, it's interesting to me.
Freddie Kitchens did a good job with the offense, and he became the head coach.
Yep.
Yeah, but Greg did a good job with the whole team.
Yeah, he did.
Right.
And didn't
He moved
become
on.
head coach.
No argument.
No, he did not.
He got the defense coordinator job with the New York Jets.
So
Changing squad.
Speaking of culture changes necessary, he'll have his hands full there as well. Listen, the NFL on ESPN asked for your opinion, the Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Yes, sir.
The Eds have it with Louis Riddick.
Saquon Barkley.
8%. We know quarterback and running back driven.
Wow. Well, your boy Lamar, though,
never
is
heard
only
it say
there
running
4%.
back driven. This isn't a running back driven league.
Well, Saquon did.
It's a Saquon-driven league at this
Saquon
point.
right now.
All right, listen,
New
there
York
was
Giants. Come on.
plenty that stood out on Championship Sunday. Clearly, we've talked about some of the more controversial calls. Let's look at the good stuff. How about the best mic drop, right? I mean, my man Jimmy Buffett here singing the national anthem before the Saints and the Rams, and apparently he was satisfied because he just drops the mic, which brings us to this. The best defender drop. Mark Ingram dropped Dante Fowler Jr. Wow.
Nasty.
Worth looking at it a few
Bend
times.
your knees. Get your pads lower.
Oh, boy. That led to a Drew Brees touchdown pass to Garrett Griffin. How about the best Sean Payton impression? Who called that play? All right, because somebody's out there that's...
We need some glasses. Get some glasses.
Wow.
I wonder what kind of glasses those are. You think those are Tom Ford?
Maybe.
I don't know.
I mean,
He has no idea what you're talking about,
CBS.
Patriots 3rd and goal at the 1. Tom Brady play action. An interception by Reggie Ragland. A rare mistake by Brady. Mahomes magic. We've seen it all season long. There was some here. The best of 3.
That's on the run.
Yep, off balance, by the way, to Sammy Watkins.
Special.
Look, the Ferrari still is special. If he would have got a hold of that rock at the end of the game, you know he would have scored, so don't even give me that. How about that one? Around Adrian Claiborne.
I mean, just...
It's sick what he can do with that. I mean,
and then
it really is.
Late game magic, a couple of clutch catches right here. A reminder, this is in overtime. Drew Brees gets hit, throws the pitch to John Johnson, who catches it on his back.
Yeah.
You make a trade for a guy like that. That one play justifies the whole trade.
Yep. Well, that led to a game-winning field goal. 1 minute to go. Tom Brady to Rob Gronkowski over Eric Berry.
Players, not plays.
Dan Sorensen, get over there and help him.
Just throw it up to the dude you trust. Watch what happens.
Well, not all fun and games for the Patriots, although it ended up that way. How about the Microsoft Surface tablet?
He's like, no, it doesn't work.
You know what? I'm done. That's not the first time he's gone after that thing. And then there was Gronk. All right, we're going to celebrate with composure of sorts.
Look at him. Look at him.
Look. I'm the coach. Yeah. Wait for it. I'm the head coach. That's classic. Wait. That's right.
Everyone's like, hey, he dialed it in a hurry.
He sure
dialed it in a hurry.
I like that.
Sure did. How about this Brady on Instagram? Doesn't say a word. I love Gronk's face. Absolutely love Gronk's face.
The music that it's set to.
Yeah, well, I agree with that.
And
who is that?
Look at the face.
I don't know, but it was good.
Still here.
Yeah, that's what
the best part, yeah.
That's what it is.
And you know what?